As I do that, of course, my nose starts to itch. You know how that goes. COVID itchy nose.
You can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but don't pick your friend's nose.
That's a bad idea, isn't it? Well, it's Tuesday. As we pick our friends. And therefore, we're in the collector's attic, which is actually the attic behind us. We're not up there because it's July and it's hot. And we actually haven't been doing the show up there for quite some time because it's inconvenient, too. So we're just sitting here at the bench, but the models are from back there.
Yeah.
We went through a whole bunch of Saltair stuff a few weeks ago and showed you Saltair paperwork, and we went out to the old Saltair resort.
We're attacked by chiggers.
We were attacked by chiggers, which was spectacular. But I showed the HO pier, what's left of it, which is all scattered along the shelf right up there. And I had mentioned I had a lot of rolling stock for that railroad that I had never painted. And we're displaying brass engines, which is what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. So I dug out the brass engines that ran on the Saltair Railroad. Now, these were made by a brass company called Suydam. Suydam. And they did traction models and passenger cars, but they were best known for their traction models. And they were pretty early, so, you know, like 50s, early 60s.
Wow.
And for that reason, they lacked in detail. But they were still wonderful, and you could do a lot with them. And I hadn't really painted them or done much with them. I just ran them. And they've got a can motor in there. You look through the windows, and they're... It's like, well, then...
There's your works.
There it is, all behind the windows of the car. But what the heck, it worked, and boy, did I run the wheels off of these things. This was my favorite. Saltair Railroad ran a steeple cab.
Oh.
And this is the closest thing that I was able to find to that exact prototype. It's actually off the Pacific Electric.
Oh, look at that.
But let's put it up here on the track.
Oh, check it.
And I showed you the photos of the actual prototype at the time, and then I was actually running with the trolley pole up because I had overhead wire. Now, I wasn't actually feeding the power through here when I was running this. It was just, but then it was a switching layout.
Oh.
And that's kind of a problem because every time you reverse direction, you also have to reverse the trolley pole. So when I would run switching, I'd just keep the pole down. But if I just wanted to run out to the pier and back with a passenger train or something, then I'd actually put this up onto the trolley wire.
That's really neat.
And run. And you know, it's tarnished. It's seen some use in spite of the fact that it's never been painted.
It's not that bad though.
No, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
and
I like the
it's
tarnish.
Classically Suydam that you look inside, it's like there's wires and a great big huge motor that's about the size of one in your furnace. But that's just because it's very old technology and very early brass.
Right.
And I wouldn't change a thing.
No, absolutely
I like it just
not.
like that,
That's what it
especially
is.
now that I don't have the railroad anymore. Or
Right.
anything.
Memories.
Now, the other brass engine that I ran on the railroad, I had other rolling stock that's around, that's wood and paper. And
Paper?
I had another, a paper, passenger car.
Oh, like Ralph has.
Yeah.
I see, okay.
These early 50s models were like that. So here's another Pacific Electric, and this was the 600 series. This is what I was using for the 600 series on the Saltair Railroad.
Awesome.
So there's my two pieces of motive power for my Saltair Railroad.
That's awesome. Look at
Both
that.
by Suydam, and in this case you would reverse the trolley pole by, actually that's kind of stuck. But,
Yeah, it looks like, oh, there it goes.
You always run with the trolley pole to the back, and you'd never spin that around like you would on the steeple cab. So when you were doing switching, then that meant that you would actually have to put the pole down, raise the other pole, just like you would on a real trolley. Now, on a real trolley, there's a rope, and the motorman just pulls the thing down, locks it in place, runs to the other end of the train, grabs the rope, and
the sparks fly?
And the sparks fly. Well, we know we've done that.
Yeah.
And we've helped him with the ropes. We love traction. But there it is. And so there's my, there's all the motive power off my Saltair railroad right there.
That is just cool.
Isn't that neat?
Man.
And I always kind of regretted not painting it. Now as I look at it, I don't really care. 'Cause
No,
it's just going to be
it's going to
displayed.
stay just like that.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
I love trolleys.
Just fine.
Next to cabooses, I love trolleys.
Yeah. They're both fun to ride in.
They are.
Well, if you haven't been over to the channel, pop over to the channel. And if you're not a subscriber, here comes the famous blue button. Are we ready? Zoink. Right there, blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this movie on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring. And we will see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because we're driving around and avoiding the virus and
Trying to.
Anyway.
Doing our best.
We'll see you then.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.